Warning, a lot of profanity is going to be used in this video. So if you have kids or people that don't like that kind of language, either A, tell them to go into another room, or B, don't show them this video, because I have the Rant hat, folks, and this is one of, if not the worst episode of Dynamite I've ever watched. What's going on, guys? Boss Up 6 here, back to your video, and today I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite review from Detroit, Michigan. Before I actually get into the video, a little quick sidebar. I apologize if I do sound a little bit weird. I do sound nasally, and I feel nasally. It's because allergies suck. That's all I'm going to say. Speaking of suck, this is possibly the worst episode of Dynamite in the band's about 4-year inception. Literally, this show had nothing. Literally nothing. We had a match. That main event is probably the worst match I've ever seen this year. And considering that the bullshit that they pulled off at the Revolution with that Texas Death match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Page, that is saying a lot, folks. So I might go a little bit long with this video because I really don't give a shit, because this episode was pointless. It was literally pointless. I have no words to describe how ungodly garbage this episode was. And AEW has been on a roll of how terrible the product has been. And it's gotten to a point where I don't want to watch the show anymore. I don't want to watch this product. I don't care about the episodes. I don't care about most of the talents. I don't care about the shows. I don't care about the marketing. I don't care about the pay-per-views anymore. We're on the road to Double or Nothing, folks, which is less than 3 weeks away. And so far, 2 matches have already been, they've already been announced. And the world title has had a stupid filler as hell feud that is so convoluted and so full of ass that I don't have any words to put into it. And the world champion, MJF, wasn't featured much on the show. And, oh my god. Okay. Okay. Before we get into anything else, let's get on with the show, and I'll just devour it piece by piece, not the Slayer song. So we go to the opening match, which is Claudio versus Phoenix, and a double Jeopardy match. So if Rey Fenix wins, he gets a world title shot against Claudio, but if Claudio wins, he gets a tag title shot against the Lucha Brothers. Okay. Match itself was fine. This is one of the least offensive things of the entire show. Match work-wise, it was probably the best match of the entire show. It was fine. Phoenix does his typical, typical lucha tropes, and Claudio does his typical impressive moveset stuff. And in the end, Ricola bomb, and there you go. Claudio wins, so him and Moxley are getting a tag title match. I think. I really stopped giving a shit. All of a sudden, Miro is here, and he's backstage, and he goes into Tony Khan's office. They never mention that. Like, they mention it on commentary, but they never bring it up ever again in this entire show. So we get MJF video package, talk about how he's the Triple B champion and how he's going to be having a reign of terror. This is all they have for him, by the way. The saving grace of your company, your world champion, is literally background noise. He's window dressing. Mox and Omega video package. Don't worry, I'll get to that bullshit here in a little bit. FTR come down, and they ask Briscoe to come out. Instead, we get the TNA Rejects. And they're like, well, if I could speak. You offered a match at Double or Nothing. So, are you really wanting a match, or are you using Briscoe to get us a match? And they're like, no, we'll never use Mark. He's our best friend. And then Briscoe comes out with some cups and vodka. And he says, well, we're going to have the match Double or Nothing, but I'll be the special guest ref. So there you go. That answers your question. Yes, they're getting a match. Jeff Jarrett is getting a title match in 2023. I don't blame FTR if they want to leave. This is the best you can use for FTR, the best team in your entire company. This is the best you can offer. So, vodka for everyone. And then, I think it was Lethal that splashed Dax in the face with vodka. They have a bit of a brawl, but Briscoe tries to keep it all together. And then he gets shoved into Dax, and Dax hits a pile driver on Briscoe, and he didn't know about it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we get a recap of Cole and Jericho from last week. Renee and Jericho are backstage. And Jericho has a court order. And Cole cannot be in the arena if Jericho's there. Man, an Irvine with court orders. Man, haven't heard that one before. If you don't know, then look up Jericho's wife and mother-in-law on January 6th, and you'll understand what I'm talking about with an Irvine with a court order. Very, 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 very ironic. A little bit on the nose there, Tony. Maybe, maybe not. And then Roderick Strong shows up. He doesn't want a match. He wants a fight. We're going to have a False Count Anywhere match next week. Okay. And Nick Strong has a court order. The Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from the building. Why is Roderick Strong cutting promos? Genuine question. Why is Roderick Strong cutting promos? He can't talk. He sounds like he's nasally. He sounds like a pterodactyl trying to talk. I love Strong. I really love Roddy, but for the love of Christ, he can't cut a promo. Renee is backstage, and she wants to know what's going on with Miro. All of a sudden, Thunder Rosa just shows up out of nowhere. Okay, they never mentioned it past this point, by the way. Sammy video package. Pointless. Tony Khan's backstage. For the love of fuck, please blink. Please blink, Tony. Another huge announcement next week. Oh, for the love of God. That's their motto for this entire goddamn program. Next week's a huge announcement. I'm going to quote what I said on the Schalke podcast a couple weeks ago. For the love of God, dude, get your head out of the damn snow globe. Wake up and smell the roses. And for the love of God, trim your unibrow here. What are you, one of the Angry Birds? Jesus Christ almighty. Yeah, this show pissed me off. This is probably the worst show that they've done. Ever. Ever since getting crowds back. Because at least with the pandemic, at least I can excuse it because there was no crowds and they were dealt a really bad hand. I get that. But for the love of God, you're building up to the equivalent of WrestleMania for your company, and this is the shit that you can offer? Fuck me. Anyway, speaking of uselessness, Daniel Garcia, who has become he is their equivalent of Austin Theory. That sounds like a long shot, but I really don't care. Daniel Garcia is the Austin Theory of AEW. Good worker, can't have a personality even if it slapped him in the face. Speaking of slapped in the face, Orange Cassidy. This gimmick is shit. The person itself, he's fine. The wrestler himself, he's fine. This gimmick is atrocious. International title, I can give a shit about this match. Roll up and Cassidy wins. Moving on with life. The Outcasts. They talk about Sheeta, Baker, and Hayter. They're having a 6-woman tag next week. Shivani, Luchasaurus, and Cage are in the ring. So, okay. So, Christian Cage is having a TNT title match, but not Luchasaurus. Christian, who is his mid to late 40s, is having a championship match in 2023. So, he talks about challenging for the TNT title. Then he talks about Wardlow. He says, I'm not going to bring up his dad because he wasn't really famous. Then he talks about Arn. How many more times have you won? 0? Then he talks about Brock and Brock Anderson and all that stuff. And we get Edge's better chance, which was kind of funny. And then he says, Detroit can kiss my ass. Cage was getting heat, but I'm sorry, this promo didn't do anything for me. Darby Allin video package. The only saving grace of this entire show was the video package. He talks about why he does the thing he does because it breaks down mental barriers. And his dad was very supportive of him, despite the fact he does all this dangerous stuff. And he says, well, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be going to AEW, Double or Nothing, and become a world champion. Good stuff. This was genuinely the best thing of this entire show. And then we get more uselessness. Julia Hart makes her entrance, and she gets attacked by Anna Jay with a chair. Julia Hart versus Anna Jay in a no-holds-barred match. This was indeed one of the matches of 2023. Who's the face in this? Because Julia Hart is with the House of Black, which is a heel faction. Well, more tweener, but they're more heel. And you have Anna Jay, who was part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think. I've legit lost track. This was a Rampage feud on Dynamite. That's about it. The women tried. This crowd did not care. Yeah. Julia wins. No one cared. Legit, no one cared. Then, we get the open house rules. So, okay. This is the House of Black kind of gimmick or stipulations they're going with. So, 20 count on the floor. No rope breaks. Any 3 competitors can form a trio. DQs are enforced and dealer's choice. So, their opponents can choose whatever stipulation they can. Renee and the best friends are backstage. And Chuck says all witches are banned from ringside. Comedy! Ha! I laughed so hard at that. And Cassidy says he's tired. Yeah, we're tired of you, Cassidy. Best friends, which is Bandito, Trent, and Chuck against House of Black. Trios title. Okay. I like Malachi Black. I love Brody King. He's very underrated. Buddy Matthews, also pretty underrated. I like Bandito. Trent is good. And then you have Chuck Taylor, who is Chuck Taylor. We get dimmed lights and special effects, weird spoopy effects on the Titantron. You want to talk about a crowd that was dead silent for like 90% of the match? Look no further than this. This crowd was dead. Dead for this show. For this match. Dante's Inferno, and there you go, House of Black win, moving on. Then Orange Cassidy gets attacked backstage, and it's Kyle Fletcher, who is, I think, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Champion, and I think he's part of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag, I think. I could be wrong, I didn't really pay attention because I didn't care. He said Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. I don't have anything against Kyle Fletcher, but whatever. Joy way back, Jack Perry video package. He needs work on his promos. He really does. That's all I'm gonna say. Rampage Dynamite rundown. Starks and White video package. Jay White and Ricky Starks are having a match next week. Oh boy, main event time. It's Jon Moxley with Kenny Omega with Don Scarlet Fever Callis in a cage match. Okay, Brian is at ringside, or he joins commentary. Before the match starts, we get a brawl on the ramp, and then Claudio and Yuta show up, and then the Bucks come down. And then they attack, and they throw Yuta off the stage, and then they stare down Brian, and then one of the Bucks gets thrown off the stage, and Claudio's attacking, and then one of them hits a dive off the stage. Okay, I said in the intro that I've made my intentions clear that when Revolution happened, I thought the Texas Death match between Hangman Page and Jon Moxley was the worst match of the year. This is probably worse. Because you have a situation where they have to use weapons in a cage match. Let me repeat that. They have to use weapons. Gimmicked weapons in a cage match. The same cage match that's given us great classic matches. The I Quit Steel cage from Starrcade 85 between Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA for the U.S. title. In my opinion, the best cage match of all time. Cage matches like Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle in 2001. Kurt versus Edge from 2002 in SmackDown. Matt Hardy versus Edge in 05. The Steel Warfare match, or I think it's called Steel Warfare. I believe it's the ROH version of War Games. You have that match. You have so many classic cage matches that didn't always resort to weapons. Now, if you have another stipulation in there, like the I Quit Steel Cage, okay, I can understand it, because how are you going to say I quit in a cage match if there wasn't weapons? But it was believable. This isn't. Apologies, folks. Omega's punches looked horrible. Somehow Shane McMahon's punches were somehow Sissy compared to this stuff. The match was not good going in, and then it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, to a point I want to take a damn pillow and chuck it at my door. I am at a point where I'm going to be breaking my door with something that's fluffy. Suck my dong. I need to pick it up, though, because I did do my laundry, and I don't want my sinuses to get worse. The barbed wire chair gets introduced, and then Moxley's back is bleeding, and then Moxley's bleeding in general, and then Omega bleeds. We get a superplex on the barbed wire chair. And then, during the commercial break, Moxley was struggling with the turnbuckle rod, and the crowd was dead. He was struggling with that thing for about 5 minutes during commercial, in picture, by the way. And then Moxley's trying to choke Omega with the rope, and the crowd was sitting on their hands. This was supposed to be a violent blood feud, and the crowd is sitting on their hands for this. Yeah, that happened. We get choking with the top rope. Then Moxley gets the glass. 'Cause fuck it. Why not bring in the glass? And then Omega keeps going for the one-winged angel, but we get a sleeper hold. And then we get a backdrop into the glass. But Moxley no-sells it. And he could put on the fucking sleeper hold. Oh my God in hell. I am about to break everything, because fuck this match. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Cue Iron Sheik. He'll break your back and make you humble jabroni. And then we get a V-trigger, and the cage breaks. The V-trigger, which is one of the worst moves in professional wrestling, and it looks so damn fake and so incredibly weak. Maybe Rose's knee strikes look way better than Omega's V-triggers. That breaks the cage. And Moxley no-sells it. Oh my God. I know people are thinking you're overreacting. It's only scripted. It's not real. So-and-so. I don't give a shit. If wrestling is supposed to have selling, sell! Oh my God. This is horrific. Why would you no-sell after going through a cage? Because not like after Moxley got up, Omega was already starting to get up. Then Moxley gets the screwdriver. And then Callis takes it. Then we get a one-winged angel. And then Callis betrays Kenny by dinking him in the head with the screwdriver. Oh well, Callis is a piece of shit anyway, so why? It's easily to boo a piece of shit. Just keep him away from the women's roster. If you get it, you get it. Fuck you, Callis. And then Moxley pins 1, 2, 3. Callis looks like he's going to hit Kenny Omega again, and he says no. I think it's time to make a rant video, because this show was fucking atrocious from start to finish. And I really do apologize for using my language, folks. Again, if you have people around you or you have children that are watching, which I don't know why kids would want to watch this shit channel anyway, or why people want to watch this fucking abortion of a channel to begin with, oh my god. If you have people that are with you and they don't like that profanity, or you have kids, tell them to go into another room or just don't watch this video around them. I really don't like using profanity. I've been really trying to calm down with it, but I'm sorry. With shit like this, I need to bring it out. Because, my lord, this show was shit. This was fucking atrocious from start to finish. It is one of the worst, if not the worst. I'm going to say it's the worst show Dynamite's ever done. This is the worst show AEW's ever done. I thought Revolution sucked, but at least it had the Iron Man match. At least the pandemic shows had an excuse. This show had none of that. Tony Khan, for the love of fucking God, book a show properly. Get a creative team that will say, no, Tony, don't use that idea. Take this idea. You're becoming the modern day Vince Russo in some ways with shitty feuds that go nowhere, and feuds that don't appeal to anyone. So, I'm going to end it here, folks. Yeah, I'm going to end it here because I think I'm going to be waking my brother up. I'm really trying not to scream, but I'm sorry, this show really pissed me off. So, what do you guys say about this show? I would love to hear your show in the comment section. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap that subscribe button, and tap the bell so when I upload, you guys will be notified. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Most importantly, join the herd. I'll talk to you guys next video. I'm going to blow my voice out. Peace out.